Good evening, y'all. I'm coming to y'all tonight with a quick message. You know, it's a quick message that came to me, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, okay? So bear with me, all right? I hope it all fits too, but bear with me, okay? Wait a minute. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys. The title of this message tonight is called The Help, okay? Okay. Um, Have any of y'all ever had those dreams where something bad is taking place or happening and everybody's running around and trying to get away? Then suddenly you find yourself, you find someone sitting off to the side, right? Who appears to be in need of some kind of help. Um, I just got a question for y'all tonight. When you see this in your dreams or whatever, what do you do? Because sometimes, especially these days, helping can be scary, or sometimes even feel like you're wasting your time, right? But I'm just saying, I will say that in my particular dreams, I must admit that there are times when I don't help, but I will say that 80 to 90% of the times I do. But I never fault myself for the times that I don't because we all know that there are some people that you simply may not be able to help, right? So I never fault myself for that because I too am also human, right? Well, a little. I told y'all. I don't know. I might not be human. Who knows? But anyway, so not helping can sometimes be fair and justifiable because we've all seen the incidents where people have helped someone that was involved in some form of domestic violence dispute, and people go to help thinking they're doing a good deed, and the people who um, they were helping, who was bashing each other in the head and all that stuff, they collectively decide to turn around and turn the tables and begin beating on a person or persons who was just trying to help, right? And this type of stuff happens every day. There was an incident that I recently watched on TV where two college students tried to help a woman who was having car trouble, and only one of them ended up surviving. And it's a little sad because, according to the story, the male had allegedly tried to help the stranded woman for over an hour, and yet Um, he didn't survive his injuries. So I'm sure that in some way he may have wished that he had just selfishly ignored her supposed need for help and just kept about their way, and they went, and would have went back to school because they were like a little couple that was in love and everything, just trying to take one little trip before the summer was over, right? And that was the end result of that trip. And I'm sure that most of us would agree with the fact that they just wish you would have just kept on in some way if you knew that this type of stuff would happen, right? But then again, on the flip side of that, you begin to sit to yourself and think about all of those times when you may have been stranded on the side of a dark road or highway, and you literally prayed that someone good or with good intentions would come along. And then thankfully, your prayers are answered, right? So, in those moments, would you have not wanted anyone to help you? I'm quite sure that the answer to the question wouldn't be no. I think not. And even if you do happen to have AAA or some form of roadside assistance, it will still take them some time to get to you, right? And I can tell y'all right now that the nighttime can be quite intimidating, especially when you are out there alone. And I'm gonna tell y'all too that I've been there, done that too many times to count, and I'm sick of getting the Darren T-shirt, right? If y'all know what I mean, I'm sick of it. I've been there too many times, and I'm telling you, when you're on that side of the road and them trees dark and everything like that, and you out there by yourself, is no fun, right? So come on now, let us keep it real for a minute. Because I know that hearing about some of these situations and even thinking about people like Martin, Malcolm, John, and so many others, even from the past, who had done what they could to help, it can definitely be where it puts you in a hell with it. Like, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't state of mind, right? Now, let's move on to another unfortunately bad example, right? I recently listened to a prelude by Kendrick Lamar, which I believe was called Blood, right? And in his prelude, he had depicted a scene where there was a man who had seen a blind woman who had appeared to be struggling and in need of some form of help. So, like most of us would naturally do, he took it upon himself to go over to her to see if he could help. She turns to him and tells him that not that he is the one who needs the help, and she shoots him. Now, I'm not 100% sure where he was going with all that, but my theory is that she wasn't blind at all. and had just pretended to be in order to kill and rob him, right? But who knows? Maybe she was just really a mean old lady and didn't want to be bothered, or had been robbed herself before. So she figured that it was best that she would get him before he got hurt, right? Who knows? But anyway, once again, when we hear this stuff like this, it makes us, it makes you not want to help nobody. And as terrible as it may seem, I'm telling y'all that we can't begin to totally think like that. Because one day it may boil down to all of us needing some form of help, right? Example, let's talk about the planet for a minute. We all know that some of us oftentimes ignore the people walking around holding up the signs to save the planet, and the scientists that tell us each year how things are drastically changing right up under our noses. And some of them even, when some of them even almost can become a little irate and frustrated as they try to warn us on TV or on their own personal help the planet videos, they get frustrated due to the ignorance of us not listening, right? And although we can clearly see the signs of the Earth's erosion and deterioration, we still tend to turn a blind eye to it until the one day when we may all need help to be in some serious trouble if it's not prevented, right? To tell y'all the truth, I have been guilty of that at times too, ignoring this stuff, right? But anyway, enough about me. Let us continue with our next unfortunate example, right? Okay, even when it comes to the streets, right? We have people who may continuously say that it's not my problem. It's not my problem. No, it ain't my problem, right? As they ignore the signs of upcoming destruction. When, believe me, they too will soon one day find out that it's going to end up being everyone's problem, especially if it one day, God forbid, ends up reaching your doorsteps. And only then will we decide to where we want to make it everyone's problem, right? As we then wake up and demand change or help for something to change, right? But when we get in those situations ourselves, and just know that once again, I've been guilty of this too myself. I never exclude myself of these things, right? Because we are all human and full of human emotions, which includes anger, sadness, disgust, dissatisfaction, and fear. So some of those things make us not want to. We tired. I ain't doing nothing. They ain't trying to help themselves. I ain't gonna help them either, right? We can all fall into that category, right? But we can't give up on trying to help people to see that there is a better way, or give up on at least trying to make an impact for change in someone else's life. And that is whatever we can do, right? Whatever we can do. And even if there are times when you may feel afraid, which in no way am I knocking that part, but you can still get up enough strength to go out and find someone who perhaps is not afraid to help. You know what I'm saying? And go out and help somebody, right? And let me just say this, helping doesn't always have to be a situation where you're risking your life, because sometimes the smallest gesture can invoke some form of change in someone's life, right? Okay, y'all, that is the end of this message for today. And one last thing, once again, I want to give a shout out to Mothers United, who did their thing last weekend down at the Armory in the city. Not only did they provide live uplifting performances, but they also gave out school supplies and cooked on a grill. But the most important thing that they gave was of themselves. And they injected some form of hope for the community to let them know that they are not alone and that someone out there still cares, right? And that Mothers United is headed by my sister and one of her closest friends that she has known for many, many years. And it's a beautiful thing, too, because now they are giving back to some of those very blocks and streets that they walked through every day to get to school when they were children. I was supposed to be there, y'all, but I couldn't make it this time. But not because I didn't want to be. Y'all know I wouldn't have missed out on no grilled burger, hamburger for nothing, right? Just kidding, y'all. But anyway, that is the entire message for the night. The message for the night is the entire message, okay, that I just read. In my DLTI section of my page, I've also included not only the prelude to from Kendrick Lamar, but I have also included a song of encouragement that is by the Staple Singers that I have grown to love, which is titled Just Another Soldier, right? So y'all go down there and check that out and have a blessed night. And, help where you can. It's not always going to be where we can, it's not always going to be easy, but help where y'all can, okay? And that's all I want to say for y'all tonight. I'm going to get off of here. I just wanted to share that with y'all as a nighttime message because that's the way it came to me, so I gave it to y'all, okay? So y'all have a blessed night, and I love y'all, and y'all already know bye.